In terms of psychological therapy, there's still a massive treatment gap in Ukraine. As well as there being NGOs offering more traditional trauma therapy methods, there are some that offer alternative methods. We're here to meet Hero's companion that trains service dogs to pair with veterans to help them with their trauma. This is Volodymyr and his dog Gira. Volodymyr is a psychologist and worked with special needs children before the war, but now he's training Gira to work as a service dog to help himself. And the plan is to train other dogs to help other veterans as well.
Майже у кожному підрозділі є свій улюбленець, який інколи вночі допомагає дуже спостереженню за супротивником. Але мені здається, що це перш за все таке емоційне розрядження, коли після напруженого чергування чи навіть бою солдат має змогу розрядитися і поспілкуватися з твариною, дуже може схожою з тією, що в неї вдома. І це завжди така певна емоційна розрядка.
After your deployment finished, how did Gira help you with what you went through?
Гера допомагала тим, що вона є. Навіть є таке прислів'я, що людина може зрадити, а собака зрадити не може. І мені здається, що для людей, які пройшли якісь такі випробування, це, мабуть, саме таке важливе відчуття.
So what's Volodymyr doing with Gira now?
So right now, Volodymyr is doing some obedience training. So it's very important that the dog is obedient to the veteran that she's trained for. So right now, he gives her a treat every time she looks him in the eyes.
Right.
Because you want to train the dog that it's good and they'll get praise and they'll get positive reinforcement if they're constantly looking at him in the eyes. And this is very important because for a veteran, for example, with PTSD, anything can set him off at any time. Mm-hmm. So you want the dog to constantly be watching and assessing the veteran to see how he's doing and to see if the dog would need to react.
So if, say, a veteran was having a PTSD flashback or whatever it was, how does the dog react once it realizes that there's a problem?
Okay, so there's a few things that the dog can do. If he's walking in public, let's say, and there's in a park, and there's a lot of unknown people around, and he starts getting a panic attack, anxiety attack, the dog can actually be trained to, if the veteran says exit, then the dog does the thinking, takes over the thinking, and it finds a way away from the crowd of people.
It's quite incredible that dogs can do that and notice the sort of the minute, I guess in some cases, changes to the veteran's behavior.
Right, and that's why it's so important to do basic obedience training very well so that the dog can pick up and read you like a book, like they say.
So how did Hero's companion start working in Ukraine?
Well, basically, I was following the situation on the front very closely, and I started noticing more and more stories surfacing and pictures surfacing of battalions adopting stray dogs on the front. And at the same time, I was working on a rehabilitation project. It's a Canadian project here in Ukraine. And I was very acutely aware of the need for not only physical rehabilitation, but psychological.
Have you found it generally that in Ukraine, veterans and soldiers are a little bit adverse to kind of opening up about any psychological trauma issues?
Yeah, so in Ukraine, the idea is that the man has to be very strong and he can't show any signs of weakness. So it's very difficult initially, especially for many veterans, to open up and say, look, something's going on. And I think an even bigger problem is that they themselves don't know what's going on. I mean, up until the war began, PTSD was a foreign concept in Ukraine. Not many people knew about it. And so many people don't know what it entails and how to deal with it. So the dog essentially breaks down barriers we've seen, and it helps automatically, it calms everyone down, and it's a really good way to start conversation with someone. It builds a bond and trust with them a lot faster than it would happen without the dog.